All right, this is E5A cost estimation using a price index. Additional information, Noonan et al., Chapter 2, Chan, Chapter 8, or E5, the summary notes. There's a lot of information in addition to what I'm highlighting in this video. So starting out, a typical strategy for complex projects would be to segment costs by part and then sum. As an example, if you were building yourself a little sailing yacht, you might separate the cost of the hull, the mast, maybe the captain's cabin and the rigging, etc. And if you deal with the costs separately, you can then sum them up. And so the purpose of this video is to show you how to use a price index to estimate costs for a project that you've done in the past. So the question with this is, do you have a situation where the same project was completed in the past, so you know what it cost? So this is really solid information that you can work with. If that's true, then we can base an estimate this year on the old costs using a price index. So a price index is calculated for a lot of different things. The one you've probably heard on the news is the Consumer Price Index, which tracks the prices experienced by a typical urban consumer. It's a weighted average of the prices of things that typical consumers buy. For this type of estimation, though, you would normally be working with a cost index for a particular component, or maybe just labor costs or something like that. Okay, so to do this, let's give an example. Suppose that you built a house in 2017 and that you want to build a similar house this year, 2018, when this is being recorded. So you built a house in 2017, and I did sort of check this. Let's look at the price of copper as one of the segmented costs. Copper constitutes about 4% of the cost of building a house. So let's say that in 2017, the house, it cost an amount such that you spent $10,000 on copper. So you built a house in 2017 and you spent $10,000 on copper. And we can use this information to either scale up or scale down that component of the cost of building a house, depending on what's happened to the copper price in the intervening year. So we need a price index. And a price index is calculated this way. A price index, the value of a price index in a particular year is the current year price of whatever it is you're interested in this case, copper, the current year price, divided by the base year price. And as I mentioned in the notes, price indexes, when you're using them in calculations, you use them in decimal form, so you're fine. You just divide the current year price by base year price. They're usually presented in tables. You multiply by 100, and so you base them around 100, but for our calculations, we won't need to do that. So let's take a look at the price of copper, which I got online. Obviously, that's not necessarily going to be the same as the price a small builder is charged, but I'm just using the sort of, I guess, national price of copper. So in 2017, copper was cost $3.10 a pound, and in 2018, copper had actually fallen in price. So this would be good news if you're building a house, to $2.73 a pound. And if I want to calculate the price index, as you can see from the formula, I need to divide current year price by base year price. Our base year is 2017. It's our starting point. So of course, in 2017, the price index, the value of the price index, is 310 divided by 310. Let's make it 100. We'll multiply by 100, as would normally you would see normally presented. And then for 2018, the value of the price index will be 273 divided by 310, which if you're playing along, multiply by 100, that's 88. So interestingly enough, copper has fallen in price, so that's one component that is going to be cheaper this year than in previous years. And to find a cost estimate for copper for 2018, just for this one component of the price of a house, what we do is we multiply the price that we paid for copper in 2017, which was $10,000, by the price index in decimal form, and that is going to be $8,800. So as you can see, this would be a laborious process, but it's a very nice way of coming up with a solid estimate in 1 year based on information that you know was true in a previous year. So you just escalate the prices using a price index. All right, that's it for this video.